Good morning, Internet, and welcome back to the deadly Dreamland. A bunch of stuff has happened, so let's just pause and we'll get caught up. At the end of the last video, the game was crashing, and that happened quite a bit. I think I went through 20 or 30 reloads, crashing the game, trying different ways of getting the rocket to land before there was an update and figured out what the problem was. So, I like to play, and having the game crash is not very good video, so I wasn't really recording any of that. So we'll go over kind of where the bases are, then we'll go over what the crashes were and what you actually have to do in your version of the game to make sure you don't do it. So over here, the pips have been breeding like pips. I didn't expect to get that many, but sure. We got a ton of poke shells. This should be, yeah, that's not going to hatch anymore. Food's fine over here. This base is mostly sorted out. I did put in a giant cooling loop to cool down this area. Not really that I need that area cool, but I wasn't producing enough heat to keep the desalinator going. So I think a future project is going to be turning this volcano into a desalinator. Yeah, we'll go to do the planets in order. Where are you? This one. So this is the oil well. This sulfur condenser, solidifier, whatever you want to call it, has been working great. I mean, there is it's now finally picking up the sulfur. I turned the clock on a bit more. Probably drop that down. Temperature-wise, the cooling system is mostly keeping up. This is a bit warm, that's a bit warm, but otherwise it's fine. What are you waiting on? Oh, rocket port. Yeah, you can't load anything. So yeah, they've got food, it's producing water. It's all good. Petroleum boiler is, of course, a petroleum boiler. It works awesome. What's that? Oh, liquid lead. At some point I'll pump this over. Over here, a bunch of stuff has happened. So once I got the petroleum shipped over, it overheated this area. So I put in a cooling loop with a thermoregulator that is just slowly dragging the heat down. In order to make that as hard as possible, I tapped the metal volcanoes. I tapped all the metal volcanoes. And they're all shipping up to there to be cooled. So they're surrounded by gold statues. We'll go over each tamer, because each one's a little different just based on size restrictions. So this is an enclosed steam room at 20 kilograms. Maybe I should have put in more, but that's the way it worked. It then has shipping rails that rotate. Those shipping rails then dump heat off via these diamond tiles and temp shift plates into the main steam room. This thermoregulator keeps this steam turbine cool. Once the temperature on the rail gets below 130, it ships it out, picks up more gold, and goes. All self-contained, self-regulating, don't need to do anything. Aluminum volcanoes produce a lot more heat, so it takes 2 steam turbines to get the heat off. To help with that, the water's dumping straight onto the loader with the temp shift plates, and has an aqua tuner to keep it cool. Same thing, once it gets below 130, ships it out. A double water lock with petroleum and water keeps the temperature from getting out of there. Polluted water was there before. Over here, these two were close enough that I figured I could do a similar thing where I can tame both of them. This time I have one steam turbine dripping water on the gold side. The other one drips it all the way down to the aluminum volcano next to a diamond tip shift plate. And then behind here is another tip shift plate just to get the heat out of here. Aluminum is hot enough that it'll start to break my steel loaders, and I don't have thermium yet. This aqua tuner is actually a bigger loop. It's also helping regulate the temperature up here to keep these growing, as well as some space heaters. Set to 24. Same idea, once the temperature gets below 130, lets it out. And then these shipping rails are set to rotate and then fill up as stuff gets dumped off. When they're both active, you just end up with a bunch of metal on the ground. So that's kind of it. This base has a ton of food, 300,000 calories. I shrunk the mushroom farm down to just this many because that's all it needs. Got a couple of rocket platforms doing their thing. And then eventually this, maybe this should have been an aqua tuner instead of a regulator, but I just didn't want to use too much power. Alright, back to the newest map. So at the end of the last video, we landed these two dupes here. Ooh, their stress is going up. I'll have to put in a massage table. So while the game was crashing repeatedly, I just had them dig. I did go into debug mode and imported a fridge of food because my ships were stuck in orbit. Could not land them. So I was like, okay, yeah, it's a bit of cheating to import stuff, but I basically just imported what was already in the rockets that I wanted to land and some extra food. They can grow food here, they just aren't doing it yet. Then they just slowly built up a little mini base for them to live off of till I got the rocket situation figured out. This is something I wanted to try. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's not really working. Damn. Okay. So let's ship that water back in. So I was trying to see if a one-room clean room would be enough if that germ sensor just rotated it, but occasionally some polluted water gets through. Not that it's a big deal. This water was only used in the bathrooms. So the tungsten volcanoes are really up high. And that's why I'm building this mini base up here so I can move everyone out of this section and then work on taming the volcanoes. Okay, so that is the update on all the bases. Let's talk about the rockets and what happened. So what was going on is anytime I tried to land a rocket here, the game crashed. No matter what type of rocket I landed, no matter what I tried to do, the game crashed. I tried moving the rocket platform, I tried doing a bunch of things, and the game crashed. They then released an update talking about 2 tall rockets. When they released that update, when I tried to then land my rockets that were in orbit, they would turn with the arrow to the planet and say transit time 0 seconds and stay there. But the game didn't crash, but they also didn't try and land. Here's what was happening. In the vanilla game, when you build a rocket, you build your rocket platform and you build the rocket. In the DLC, you can build the rocket platform anywhere. That's the top of the map. Here, plenty of room, no problem. If you add more modules, this gets taller, no big deal. Over here, the top of the map, very close to the top of the asteroid. If you build your rocket platform, here, we're going to go into debug mode here real quick. We'll put those back. So if I build my rocket platform, we'll build it as something I have. I can build it here, no problem. What happened was when I went to land the rocket would then appear in the unbuildable space, and that would crash the game. Their update says if a rocket's too tall, it can't land. You need to be aware of that when you're building your rocket platforms. This rocket platform, this is a 3 tall rocket. If I go and add a module, say I want a cargo bay, and sure, make it out of tungsten. Why didn't you add? Oh, build. Now it's up to here. That's as tall as I can make that rocket. The small petroleum engine is large, but you need to be aware of that. If I try to land a bigger rocket here, I can't. That's the other reason I'm building this mini base, is so I can build rocket platforms down a bit and put the volcano tamer on the left side. Because, that's all the room I have for a rocket. So that's what was going on. You just need to be aware whenever you're moving to new planetoids that look at where the top of the map is before you build your rocket platform. On a second note, they changed the price of rocket platforms. Let's see, it costs 800. Rocket platforms used to cost 4. And the reason that's important, if we swap that over to you, Trailblazer modules are 200 kilograms. So if you land 2 duplicants in Trailblazer modules, you won't have enough metal to make a rocket platform. I actually want that to be a cargo bay because I want to get the tungsten out of here. So, very important to know that no longer can I send 2 duplicates to here, deconstruct their Trailblazer modules, and have a rocket platform. You need 4. And landing 4 duplicates is hard. Now what I'm thinking is I can send petroleum rockets to here and back. Yeah, let's try that. Let's go over here, back to the main base. So if we build new rocket, yeah, we'll say petroleum. Where's my petroleum engine? There you are. All right, and let's make it all out of, I'm trying to think, I do actually want to send this over to the Magma planet. Let's make it all out of steel. What are you even doing in there? Oh, you're running the temperature in here. Not too bad. Like this I was going to send as a colonization thing, but I can only fit 2 beds in it. And you need 4. Temperature over here is all nice and good. Ooh, how am I doing on carbon dioxide? Alright, that's nice and full. And we're building some up. This is run off of a lumber mill. How are the pips doing over here? We've got some pips. How many do we have? 2. Try to wrangle that one. Yeah, you're dumping stuff, so we can turn you off. Alright, let's let him build this rocket, and we'll show you what I'm thinking about. Alright, we're getting there. Here's the bit I want to see. For the rover module, yes you can. So if I build the rover module out of steel, and build the rover out of... should be able to build the rover out of steel. So my plan is build the rovers out of steel, send rovers over, and then those rovers can... they won't be able to build anything over there, because they can't dig through obsidian, but they can deconstruct themselves and their modules, and you end up with a pile of steel for a single dupe to land on and build a platform. Seems like an idea that we will try. In the meantime, I actually need a cargo rocket. How much gold amalgam do I have over here? Not much. So I need to make oxalite in order to power the rockets. How much oxalite do I have? Yeah, I got 2.5 tons. So this planet has all the gold. So it can make oxalite no problem. So I can use this as the stepping off point to get somewhere. Yes, spaced out just gets complicated because I need oxalite, I need gold to make oxalite, I need petroleum, but petroleum isn't found on this planet, it's found on that planet. God, I really hope they bring back liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen rockets. That would just make life so easy. Because liquid oxygen and hydrogen I can do with solar and water. All I have to do is liquid cargo tanks, ship water to any base that doesn't have a source of water, and I have rocket fuel. How are these guys doing? is this still running? Oh, that can be disabled. Finally got this rocket landed and had them empty everything out of it. A nice little pool of polluted water. Down here is a vacuum, but not horribly bad. Some of this abyssalite's hot. I don't know how all this sand got in here. What does sand melt at? 1700. Alright, so you have a module. No, you don't have a module. You need a module. And do you not have a source of petroleum? Because I'm loading petroleum like it is a tank, not a rocket. Okay, I did just queue that up, right? There we go. And the joy of then loading oxalate. I think that can hop into that, but we'll build that up anyway. Okay, so we'll build up the standard small design and get a dupe ready to launch. Right now I'm just waiting on the oxygen pressure to come up here, and then should be good. Kind of want several kilos just so the dupe doesn't suffocate. How are you guys doing? Once these guys build the background, then I can put in the oxygen and then move them, just crack this open into there. And right now they're going to have some hard breathing and a bit of stress, but it's not that big of a deal. It was just kind of a slap together, have them do stuff while I kept crashing the game base. Really annoying. There's so much to keep track of in Spaced Out of just going around and making sure stuff is working. Body temperature. Alright, let's set you to 24. You should only need to get up to 22. The problem is the polluted water is coming in kind of chilly. No, it's all reasonable. What's the water at? Yeah, the water's only at 20, 21. And maybe I could set that up higher, but this is all self-regulating, so I don't really need the metal. In fact, yeah, that's starting to cool down. That's starting to get some green in it. Resources. Come down here to refine metal. Gold, 18 tons. Aluminum, 12 tons. Yeah, I think I'm good on metal on this base. Alright, up to almost a kilo. There's some carbon dioxide down there, but that's not a big deal. See if I got oxidizer loaded. Yes. Okay. Awesome. So it thinks I have enough range. That's exactly what I want to know. The checklist confirms that I can get here and get back. I mean, it's kind of a shitty job for a rover, but whatever. Alright, let's set that to 5. And we'll say grapefruit preserve. Actually, set the priority back down. I want 1 kilo of oxygen isn't enough. Even though this will keep making some, it's not enough. Alright. So we'll come back once there's enough air pressure in there to launch a dupe. Things to always be aware of. Most of the rock I have on here is sedimentary, and I somehow queued up all this background as igneous. So let's cancel just the background. And let's do this all out of Sedimentary, because sedimentary is what I have. And behind the ladders is important, but not behind the doors. I was like, why aren't they building the background? Oh, because I queued it out of the wrong stuff. Alright. That should now go much better and I'll have a background. Alright, back to filling the rocket with air. Alright, we are up to 4 kilos of oxygen pressure, which should hopefully be enough. Crew, let's grab... Oh, you're my only pilot over here. Probably gonna have to hire more rocket pilots. Yeah, nah, it should be fine. Knowledge warnings. Yeah. And off you go. So 1.5 cycles. Should be able to get to there and drop off the rover. That is the idea. How are these guys doing? Oh, see, now they're building the background. Now that they actually have the ability to build the background. Oh, even their stress has come down. That's lovely. They're kind of building it in a haphazard pattern, but whatever. Did make this out of the right stuff, right? Yeah, sedimentary. How much sedimentary do I have? Oh, plenty. I mean, there's just a ton of it down here. No broken abyssite, so that's good. Plenty of slime and algae. And even some thimbleweed, which I'll use to make suits. And then the rock crusher is making gold. Oh, that's the next thing I need. I need a place to make suits. Station, exosuit forge. Right, tungsten we have. Just kind of putting stuff randomly on this base. It's just been the way it's going. Oh. Well, that's because I'm a dumbass and I forgot to turn on your bathroom, and I'm sorry. That's not good for him. Hopefully that doesn't ruin the food. Oh, and you can unzip your gas mask. You've got plenty of oxygen. Alright, now you have a bathroom. I always disable them because they try to use them all the damn time. Oxygen's becoming low. What in the hell happened over here? Ow! I'm not dumping the carbon dioxide out of here. This needs to remain on. What are you tied to automation-wise? You're tied to that. They came in here to get the plastic and let all the carbon dioxide out, and you just need to basically pump all the time. Nope, not that. Automation wire. Lead. That's my bad. Probably should redesign this so that polymer press is someplace much more useful. Yeah, and then this pump down here will slowly grab the carbon dioxide from the bottom of the base. Idle 2. stop bouncing around. Yeah, you guys are somewhat idle, which we don't care about. I think they've cleaned everything up. Just about. I might even pull a dupe out of here. Who's here? I think I brought over a couple of rocket pilots. So yeah, Rin's over here. What I'm looking for is Mechtronics. You, I haven't been skilling up at all. You can't even quite get to Mechtronics, but you're close. Rin can't build, he's just a rocket pilot. Ooh, you artworks and Mechtronics. Ruby's probably going to go on a rocket. And Hassan probably doesn't need to be here anymore. So let's take Hassan and just get you out of here. We're wearing out suits. Oh, you can teleport. Yeah, you can find stuff to do over here. And you guys should be delivering suits. Yeah, all my worn Atmos suits are coming over here. And those worn Atmos suits should get dumped over here. And then get put over here. And then I ship them back. Kind of a big old circle, then they pop out on this side, and then they can deliver them. That's just a lot of carbon dioxide. That's all right, looks like the pumps are taking care of it. Star map. 0.7 cycles. How's it looking in there? Yeah, still got 3 kilos of oxygen, some dirty polluted water. And we got the background going. Rocket's just about to hit orbit. There we are. So now if I deploy you, that is a lot of magma. So if I deploy you down there, and then we'll send you back. Now can I deconstruct that? Perfect. And I end up with a pile of steel. Oh, it's 400 kilograms. Okay, I thought I only get... Oh no, because this is the rover module. The rover module gives me 400. That's awesome. I can't build a platform with that. You say I can build some stuff, but that's only building it out of steel, which I actually don't want to do. Can you dig this? No. Okay, well, perfect. If all I have to do is send 2 rovers over, then I just need a dupe in an Atmos suit that can land, dig up some obsidian, build a rocket platform, land the rocket, and take off again. Okay. I think the Trailblazer module is only 200, but because you can build the rover module out of steel, you get 400 out of it. Well, this is going to take another 3 cycles to get there, or another cycle and a half to get there, then I got to reload the oxygen, then another 3 cycles to get back and back. So I think we'll call that good. Well, before we do that, let's just double check. Yeah, you got to be aware of the height issue. So I just got to make sure I don't build that rocket platform up too tall, but I should be able to make it out of steel. thank you very much for watching. They are doing updates because this is the testing branch and it is a beta, so lots of things are happening and things will change. So keep that in mind and enjoy the game. We'll see you next time.